Dylan. This video is going to be about Portugal's culture. Oh yeah. So let's go straight to the point. You could either live in the present, you know, the whole carpe diem, seize the day thing. You could live with your eyes on the future, being inspired by whatever event may happen on the future, or you can live in the past. And that's exactly how the majority of people in Portugal live, unfortunately. Why is that? Because back in the day we were one of the greatest nations of the world. It all started in 1415 when Dom Dinis, the king, decided to create a national project of systematic navigation to the whole world. Later on, this would be known as the Discoveries. Here, have a picture of our empire back then. We had most African coast, Brazil and some isolated cities in Asia. Pretty cool, right? Those were the golden years. Much has changed since the big empire, believe me. Even though we are going through one of the worst economical, financial and political crises, let's try to focus on the good things, right? Let's go. So let's start with the language. Portuguese is officially spoken in 9 countries and it is the 5th most spoken language in the world. It can be a little bit tricky to learn, but as a native language it's quite good because since we don't have a particular accent or particular sounds to the language, it makes it really easy for us to learn or speak another language. In terms of sports, yes, football is the big thing. I don't find it particularly amusing, but I have to mention that we do have one of the greatest players in the world and one of the greatest coaches. Cristiano Ronaldo and José Mourinho. What about music? Most Portuguese artists and music in general is not really known over borders, you know? It's not like it is internationally known. But we do have a very specific type of music that is considered heritage of humanity by UNESCO, and that is Fado. Again, I am not a particular fan, but I guess I can see a beauty of it. In terms of literature, we do have some nice authors. And you were talking about Shakespeare, so you have Shakespeare and we have Camões, which is basically one of the greatest authors of all time. He wrote the Lusíadas, which is an epic poem. But that's not the cool part of it, so I'm going to tell you what happened. This man lost an eye on the war, but that didn't stop him from writing one of the best pieces ever. So the story is, his boat crashed and he could only save himself and his work. How did he do that? He was able to swim to the coast with his hand out of the water. So let's try to imagine. He was blind from one eye, he has his hand out of the water trying to save his masterpiece, and he was swimming with an arm. So, what? And that kind of made him a hero. That and because the actual work is really, really good. About the people, you know, normally Portuguese people are really nice, but due to the recent events we may not look as nice as we actually are. But Portugal is definitely a nice country, you know, we have great food, great people and great landscapes. I guess this is enough. I did quite a nice job selling Portugal to you, right? I hope so. So I guess it's time to choose next week's topic, and since this week we talk about the differences in our cultures, I guess next week should be about the similarities. What does England and Portugal have in common? Well, I guess this is goodbye, see you next time.